Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to discuss BCS602 Machine Learning Module 2. Okay, previous year questions for VTU syllabus 6th semester. This video will be helpful for you to revise the important and repeated questions from Module 2. Okay, and very quick preparation. Okay, last moment preparation you can do. Okay, with these questions. Okay. And so watch till the end and note down these important questions for your exam preparations. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you where you're going to find the short notes and also the solved PYQs for the important questions. Okay. So in which website you're going to get, I will be telling you in the between of the video or by the end of this video. Okay. So watch till the end. Okay. So before that, let's get started. So this is the overview of module 2. Okay, module 2 mainly deals with understanding data and learning theory. Okay, so in this module, we study bivariate data analysis, multivariate data analysis, dimensionality reduction, feature selection, PCA, training and testing, overfitting, underfitting, bias, variance, and generalizations. Okay, most questions from this modules are concept based and diagram based. Okay, so remember in this module, okay, the questions are concept based and diagram based. So you have to remember the concept and the diagram so that according to that you can write down the answers. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So these are the exam focused questions, okay, which you should not skip. Okay, without missing any single question, you have to read these questions. Okay, so first question is related to explain bivariate data analysis, how it is different from univariate data analysis. So univariate data analysis is covered in the module 1. Okay, so it's very easy to differentiate once you know univariate. Okay, then if you here in this unit, if you learn bivariate data analysis, then it's very easy for you to differentiate. Okay, so see here in the first question, if you have prepared module 1, okay, where you're going to learn univariate data analysis. Okay, same answers that if you have read the answer for that here also in module 2, it is useful, right? So only I'm telling you again and again, whatever questions I have informed in the previous video for the module 1, do not skip it. Okay. So without skipping any question, you just try to read it, at least try to understand. Okay. So if you understand, it will be easy for you to remember and write it in the exam. Okay, so explain bivariate data analysis with suitable example you can do. Bivariate data analysis means analyzing the relationship between two variables. For example, study hours and marks, let's say height and weight, or advertisement cost and sales. Okay, so this is the data which I'm trying to collect. Okay, the main purpose is to find whether two variables are related or not. Okay, for example, I said study hours and marks. So these two variables are related to studies, right? And next example, what I said, height and weight. So height and weight is relatable to the body, okay, or to the person's height and person's weight. So these two variables are related, right? So this is called as bivariate data analysis. Okay, and next, I'm talking about example like advertisement, cost, and sales. Okay, so there is specific product, and that product cost I'm talking about, and sales I'm talking about. So these sales and cost, these two variables are correlated. It is relatable, right? So these are the examples for bivariate data analysis. Okay, so the main purpose of bivariate data analysis is to find whether two variables are related or not. Simple. Understood what is bivariate data analysis? Okay, so in exam, write the definition. Purpose. So what is the purpose here? The purpose is to find whether the two variables are related or not. And then give the examples. Just now I talk about example, 3 4 examples, right? And then draw the scatter plot. Okay, diagram is there that you can write. Next is explain scatter plot covariance and correlations with suitable examples. So correlation measures the strength and direction of relationship between two variables. Correlation value lies between -1 and +1. Okay, remember this. Correlation value lies between -1 to +1. If correlation is positive, both variables increase together. If correlation is negative, one variable increases while the other decreases. Okay. Next, if I talk about covariance, okay, so it also shows how two variables change together, but its value is not standardized. Okay, so correlation is easier to interpret than covariance. Okay, so it's very difficult to discuss all the topic. Okay, so here I'll just mention, the flow, what you are going to write for that specific question. Okay, and what are the important questions which you have to mainly focus on. So that much we can discuss here, and notes and solved question and answers that I will tell you in the middle of the video or at the end of the video. And in this video we are just discussing module 2. Okay, so yeah, so let's continue. Next, so we discussed just now about second question. Next is differentiate positive correlation, negative correlation, and zero correlation using diagrams. Got to know, if you are learning the topic called correlation and covariance. Okay, so if you understand that concept, it's very easy for you to sorry, it's very easy for you to write about the definition, and then write about the concept explanation, and once if you remember the diagram, that also you can include in the answer. Okay, so this is the flow. Start with definition, then why and how it has been used, explanation for that, examples, real-time examples, and if diagram is the diagram you can draw, and if for that diagram any flow is there, that you can explain. Okay, so this is the flow, to write for the 10 marks answers. Okay, definition, what and why it is required, how it has been required in that specific concept, and then examples you can give, and followed by the diagram, and that diagram you can explain. Okay, so next is fourth question. Write a note on bivariate visualization techniques used in machine learning. Fifth is, okay, just now I explained you what is bivariate, so that you can start with. Okay, explain the techniques used in the machine learning. Okay, give two variables x and y, explain how correlation helps in understanding their relationship. Okay, so follow this pattern to study for these concepts. Okay, so in this unit or in this module, you have concept based question and diagrams. Okay, next is, okay. So these are questions related to, here you can observe is, these are the questions related to bivariate data. Okay, next you also have multivariate data. So here you can see the questions. Okay, 5 questions I have picked. Define multivariate data. Explain the need of multivariate data analysis in machine learning. Right? And next, explain multivariate statistics and its importance in ML model building. Differentiate bivariate and multivariate data with examples. Next, you can see fourth question, explain covariance matrix and correlation matrix for multivariate data. And next, fifth one is write short notes on mean, vector, variance, covariance matrix, and data matrix. So these are related questions to the multivariate. So if you study the concept called multivariate data, okay, so it covers all these concepts. Okay, so do not skip this concept. Okay, first one is try to understand the bivariate data. Okay, so you will learn all this concept in that question itself, right? Next is multivariate data. You have to understand definition, what it is, example. Okay, so that you can understand. And here you can see the third question. It is asked again, difference between bivariate and multivariate data with example. Okay, so first concept, what I said to read is bivariate data. You have to read that concept. You should not skip. Next, multivariate data you have to read. Okay. Next is essential mathematics. So here prepare the formulas and write down the small example wherever necessary. Okay. So here you have to prepare the formula and small example wherever it is possible. Okay, so these are the 5 questions for that. I explain the role of linear algebra in multivariate machine learning data. Write short notes on vectors, matrices, eigenvalues, and eigenvectors. Third is explain Euclidean distance, okay, Manhattan distance, and cosine similarity. Next is explain normalization and standardization with mathematical expression. How are matrix operation useful in feature representation and dimensionality reduction? Okay, so these are the things which you have to not miss. Okay, try to remember the formulas and why this formula is being used. That those things you can try to remember. Okay, so maybe altogether it might be 15 questions. Okay, somewhere around 15 questions. So you will find all important questions along with the answers in the notes which I am going to tell you. Okay, so do not skip this video, watch till the end. And next is related to questions related to feature engineering. These are the questions. Okay, so these are the possible questions. Okay, there they might just tell you, explain about the feature engineering along with the examples. Okay, so how it is being rephrased, that kind of questions I have displayed here. Okay, so you can just go through this concept, and if the question is asked, you just write whatever you know about feature engineering. Clear? But if specifically they have mentioned, for example, let's say you know what is feature engineering and also you know the example. But here specifically what they're saying, explain its importance in machine learning. So this you have to write more points about saying that, including that the importance, how feature engineering, okay, used in machine learning specifically. So you have to write specifically answers for that also. Okay, but before that, moving to the specifically, understand the feature engineering concept, then you can just write any questions related to feature engineering. Okay, so here you can see write a note on feature scaling, encoding, and feature transformation. Here specifically it is asked, right? So, anyways, if you know feature engineering, you are going to write the definition and then followed by what feature scaling is. Okay, specifically you have to explain then encoding and feature transformation. Clear? Okay, so next is explain feature selection, feature extraction, and differentiate them. Okay. And last question is for feature engineering is how does good feature engineering improve model accuracy and generalization? Okay, these are the expected questions related to feature engineering. Next is dimensionality reduction. So here you can see it can be asked for 8 or 10 marks. Okay. Define dimensionality reduction, explain its need in machine learning. Okay, followed by 5 questions you can see ask related to dimensionality reduction. Next is PCA or extraction. So these are the possible questions, highly prioritized questions. Okay, this was related to PCA and or extraction. Next, we have testing ML algorithms. Explain training data, testing data, and validation data with the need diagram. Okay, so start with the explanation of what training data is, what testing data is, and validation data. Okay, what is validation data? Along with the diagram. Okay, so first write the definition of this and then go with the diagram, and next you try to explain the diagram. Okay, for training data, the flow of training data, then testing data, and then goes for validation data. Okay, so that is how this is the process of writing the answers to score good marks, right? So yeah, next is why is testing required in machine learning? Explain model evaluation process, right? Next, differentiate training error, validation error, and test error. And fifth one is explain confusion matrix based evaluation for classification models. Okay, so these are the question related to testing ML algorithms. Okay, so in each slide, I have taken five questions for each specific topic. Okay, without skipping any questions, if you are reading this questions, definitely you're going to score about distinction. Okay, and when I talk about numericals, wherever you have formulas, so sometimes they can ask you numerical questions. Okay, so in that case you should know how to solve the problems for that. Okay, so there too you should know the method and approach, okay, to solve the specific problems. Okay, that too you have to study and practice the problems. Okay, so because in numericals they can, in conceptual questions or theory, there are concept specific, those questions they will ask as it is, but whereas numericals they can change the numerical data and all. Okay, but formulas will be used according to the concept base which is there for your syllabus, but practice numerical also if you want to score out of for this specific subject. Okay, so this was about testing ML algorithm, and next is overfitting and generalization. Okay, so define overfitting and underfitting. Explain with suitable diagrams. So here you have diagram. That is very easy concept. If you know the diagram, you can easily define what is overfitting and underfitting. Okay, so explain with the example if it is asked for 8 or 10 minutes. Okay, next here also you have bias variance trade-off in machine learning, list and explain methods to reduce the overfitting, explain regularization, pruning, cross-validation, and early stopping. How does train test split help in checking generalization performance? Okay, so these are the 5 question picked for fitting and generalization. So it is, see, very, I have mentioned in the slide, very important and frequently asked questions, okay, from this. So yeah, so quick revision and last minute recall. Okay, these are the topics which you have to read. If you read this topic, definitely you're going to score. Definitely you will be able to write, right? So don't miss any concept. Give 2 hours of time for this unit. Okay, for each concept, give 10 minutes or 15 minutes to understand. and then you can move to the next unit, right? So yeah, these are the topics. Okay, I've just mentioned the topic names over here. Okay, so you can take the screenshot of this. Okay, screenshot of this, and you will be able to find the answers for this specific topic in the notes. Okay, and mostly expected model 2 questions are this. Okay, give most higher priority. Okay, who is going to study before the 5 hours of your exam, they can give highest priority for this 6 questions. Okay, the students who are going to study before the 5 hours of the exam, they can give your time, okay, half an hour for reading the 6 questions. Okay, so exam tip here, it is for 8 or 10 marks. Go with the definition, diagram, steps. Okay, in diagram you will be having the flow, right? So that flow steps, you have to tell the steps how it is going. Okay, in the diagram, what is the concept related to each other, what is happening, okay, in the process, that you can explain, and then go with the example. And if you know advantages or limitation, that you can write, or else go with the conclusion. Okay, so highest priority questions. Okay, if time is very limited for you, revise this first. Okay, if time is very limited for you, revise these questions first. Okay, so that's it for this video. Okay, so we can just wind it up. Okay, so I have to tell that where you're going to find out the notes. So yeah, so here you can see you have to go to VTU Smart Prep. Okay, so I'll just go to VTU smartprep.com. You have to go. And next, what you have to do is you have to create the student account, enter your full name, email ID, password. And once you sign up, you're going to get the confirmation mail. So just confirm the email address, and then you have to sign in. Okay, so here I already have account. Okay, so I already have the account, so I'm just going to sign in. Okay, I already have the account, so I've just signed in. So select this department followed by semesters. Okay, and then here once you scroll down, you will be able to see the subjects. Okay, so right now I have uploaded only for CSE department 6M, and rest of the department PYQs are available. Okay, only question paper is available, but for CSE I have uploaded the notes for 6 subjects. Okay, so notes is available for machine learning. So once you click here on notes, PYQs and solve, here you will be able to find. So here notes you can see module 2. Okay, so read inside the website, you can click. So your notes you can see. Okay, so very minimal notes. Okay, last minute preparation notes it is. Okay, if you remember these keywords, you are definitely going to pass the exam. Not just pass, you are just going to crack the exam like anyone else. Okay, because I know as a student, notes are very important. Okay, there will be, n number of notes are available. Okay, but you don't know what to study and where to start with. It's very difficult, and in a limited time you have to study. So that is the main problem, right? So if you have a proper notes, you can study, in a smart way. Okay, formulas also included in this notes. Okay, so problems you have to solve based on that. Okay, So these are the notes. And next is I was talking about solved answers. Okay, so right now I have uploaded, okay, module 1 and module 2 solved PYQs. Okay, so here you are having the topic name. Okay, so here you can see you have the question and followed by the diagram and points are there. Okay, so question and answers are also available for modules. The only thing you have to do right now is study well. You have to concentrate and you have to study. That is the only option. Okay, so if you want to pass the exam, you yourself you study and then only you can write the exam. Okay, so change your mindset. Okay, you want to study and you want to pass the exam, right? So that is the need. Okay, so the focus should be there. Okay, so that's it for this video. See you in the next video. Okay, so if you want this playlist to be continued, you can just comment below in this video so that I can record a video for module 3. Okay, so today's video was about only module 2. If you comment in this lecture, in this video, I'll continue the playlist for module 3. Okay, so bye bye, take care, and all the best. Study well.